That's what I want to know. The bad part about this thing is that it doesn't really show you if the voice is coming through, which sucks because on on StreamYard you get like a little voice thingy that shows that your voice is coming through. Like right now, I can't even tell. According to this, I'm live, but I don't know. But I'm gonna set the mood on the music right now. 'Cause I could listen to music. Anyways, what's up, everybody? I'm here live for another week. Happy Monday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And it's a good day because it's Cinco de Mayo. It's the Battle of Puebla. It's the day that marks the day where a bunch of indigenous people and some Spaniard descendants kicked ass, kicked French ass to be exact, precise. Yeah, today's the day where we beat we beat the French as they try to take over Mexico under the excuse that Mexico was in debt to them. It was, even if we were in debt to them, all we could say is, yeah, we're not gonna pay you guys. Why would we pay you guys? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense why we would pay you guys, because this is our land. I mean, all of it should be our land, but I don't know. But let me set up this. I'm gonna try not to die and drive and pick music at the same time. I don't even know. This is a summer mix. I don't even know anymore. But all right, let's go down the line. All Red Dog, what's up? JDG, what's up? Oni64, Cutlass Supreme, what's good? Where you been at? Well, I did go live last week. Again, I'm doing. Last week I went live, I think on Tuesday, because that's when we went live on Marvelous. Today's no different. I am on my way to Marvelous so we could set up and do the live tonight. Miss Gangsta Piggy, what's up? Good to see you. So, as you guys can see by the title, Latinos for Trumpers are taking big L's right now. And let me give a shout out to Nino America, because I know he was a bit upset with me because I was on the fence with the whole truck driving, needing to speak and I guess speak and read English. Otherwise, they shouldn't get their license as truckers. And I say that because I recently saw a video about a truck driver that just happens to be a Trumper, heavy with making sure that he wins presidency. Which now he finds himself in the bind because even though he was a big supporter of Trump to win, and he did, so it was a victory for himself also. This truck driver never saw the need to learn English properly. So because of that, now he can't drive. He can't drive his truck. He can't make money. And he's crying because his complaint is, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay my bills if, it was never a thing to have to speak English. I just knew how to do the job. Well, hate to break it to you, but Trump wants you to be speaking right English. Wants you to be the master of the language. Yeah, other than that, even if you are a U.S. citizen, you cannot make any money because it is a requirement by federal law that you learn English. And for the most part, I saw the law. You're not supposed. Hey, what's up, ACP Chemistry? What's up, Play 3D? Play 3D, loving your work that you've been doing. Keep it up. For the most part, the law states that you're not supposed to be 100% knowing the English. You just have to be sufficient to be able to understand the signs on the road, pretty much, because a lot of it is in English, and it would be good for you to know how to read those signs considering you're driving it. For the most part, yeah, you should have enough proficiency in English so that you could drive properly, so you could read a sign. You never know, you're gonna read a sign that they temporarily put up, and you might be in danger if you're not able to read it correctly. But for the most part, it's a tough one because like I said, some people learn sign language. Some people are deaf. They can't actually, what, that doesn't even make sense. Never mind, scratch that. But I can understand why it would be a necessity to read English if you're going to be a truck driver. It wasn't pushed hard before, but now because of Trump, then it's now pushed heavily. And now you won't be able to drive. Play 3D, hey, no problem, man. I just appreciate that. Every guys follow HCP Chemistry. He does, aside from being a scientist, this guy knows how to fish. Play 3D, he uses 3D printing. He does amazing work with it. Oh, is that Lattice? Hell yeah, you have to be able to read traffic signs. Exactly, you should be able to read traffic signs because, again, there might be a temporary one that gives you instructions about, I don't know, construction work, and you're going to have to slow down. And if you can't read that sign, you're going to put the workers in danger, and you're going to put yourself in danger. So as that goes, yeah, I could see why you need to be at least proficient enough to read those things. You don't have to be an expert at reading English, but you should at least be able to read signs that they would put out there. Let's see. Estilo Delfino, what up, Norberto? Que tranza? Glad to hear that brain not in the pin. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that because for the most part, all the channels I go on, that I'm part of, is usually not delving towards that area. Is usually more for entertainment or speaking about cultural stuff, which I love, by the way. But for the most part, my thing has always been more like politics, science, history, a lot of things. No super chats. You know what? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe because I'm on this thing, it won't do it. I'm not too sure on that one. According to this, yeah, I'm not too sure. But if you want to give, thank you. I appreciate the thought. You break it down well, and that's what many need. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to, because you know what? For the most part, I could give off a fact, but if I got nothing to like support it or back it up, I don't expect anyone to take me on my word either. Because I know a lot of these people out here, they'll say something and think of it as a fact, but they won't explain why it's a fact. They'll only give you a half answer. And I don't like when people do that, because, I need to know why you see it this way. And I'm glad when people say, well, where'd you get that info? And I'll tell them, okay, well, I got it from here and I got it from there. Risky business. It's racist shit, bro. Most truckers follow GPS. Getting y'all's groceries to the stores doesn't require knowing English. Well, risky business. And you need to talk to Nino America, because I think he thinks I'm you when I'm reading your comments. But, that's besides the point. But I see where you're coming from, and I understand it. That's probably one of the complaints that one Trumper that was a truck driver was upset, because for him, he knows how to do his job. He never needed to learn English, but because of Trump now pushing it, and and Jay, you have to at least agree on this. To a certain extent, you need to be able to read certain signs, especially the temporary signs where it tells you to, hey, slow down, there's this and this ahead, things like that. And I can see why that would be a requirement, to be at least somewhat proficient in the language. Not 100% knowing the language, but enough to be able to read a warning temporary sign. Aside from that, where was I at? Yo, Norby, you should get Afro on your channel to talk about anime, movies, video games. Oh, that would be dope. Actually, I don't even know if he's into anime. I know he's into movies, horror movies, but I'm not too sure if he's into anime. That would be dope, man. I mean, I could go all. You know what? I'm not gonna lie though. I'm more of the old school animes, but I'm not talking about like fucking old Gundam. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Gundam, but not like the older, not the original ones. You know, that's too old for me. For the most part. Anyway, let's go back to the subject as far as Trump and Latino Trumpers. All right, so that was one L that some of them were taking. A lot of truck drivers that were supporters of Trump are now regretting it because now their jobs are in danger, their income's in danger, their families, you know, life is in danger because they can't get the money that they're used to. Now the driver has to learn English, or at least enough to pass the test. So that's one L. And today, there was supposed to be a bill that would fine an individual either $1 million or send you to jail for 20 years if you push the idea of boycotting, you know, that place in the Middle East that I think almost nobody likes. And I don't want to say their name because I know this is a key word that YouTube picks up and they start doing things to your channel. So I've already been in trouble on this channel enough because of some dildo that kept reporting me. So thankfully they pulled that bill out because it really was infringing on our rights for freedom of speech. Because how are you gonna either send us to jail for 20 years or fine us $1 million to boycott a country that isn't even this country? That's the funny part, is you could boycott America, you're not gonna get $1 million fine or 20 years in prison. But if you talk about this country, you're in big trouble. Only 64. Akira is fucking dope. Ninja Scroll is fucking dope, and DBZ is fucking dope. Yeah, Akira. That was the first movie that I saw. That shit was crazy. That really blew my mind. Ninja Scrolls. Oh my god. That scene where what scene was it? That when that wood demon. I don't know if he was a wood demon or a stone demon, but he was fucking. He was drinking the juice off that chick. I don't know if you guys remember that scene. Wild scene. ACP's chemistry. Israel gonna try to conquer the entire Middle East. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, and I'll give it to them, man, because they're really good at strategizing. They're really, right now they have their chess pieces exactly where they need to be. They're just waiting for a few more pieces to move so they can do a checkmate. Because they're really trying to overcome the other power. Because even though they might seem like they're powerful, there are other entities in this world that are a lot more powerful than they are. And those entities are the ones that are letting them have that power. And they're very good at not biting the hand that feeds them. But you can only hold out for so long also. DBZ is the best. ACB, let's see, Red Cat, Lade said, it never occurs to Trump haters that we might have voted for Trump for anything other than the immigration policies. And you're right, for the most part, Lade, you're right. And here's the other thing, like, all these tariffs that he's pushing, I mean, it's making the whole system volatile. I mean, he's putting them, he's taking them off, he's putting them, he's taking them off. And it's really leaving the U.S. in a vulnerable space, because the most recent tariff that he is attempting to push is a Hollywood tariff, where if you're not shooting your movie in the U.S., you're gonna get 100% tariff. Like, wow. That means if you're shooting in Canada, you're shooting in New Zealand, and you're going to try to push that movie over here, no, no, no. You're going to have to pay 100% tariff on that. That's wild. And it's interesting because a lot of studios have left the US because, you know, we just charge them too much to like shoot, which I never really understood why we charge them so much. I mean, like, it's a good thing that they're making movies here, spending money here, you know, putting in the taxes. I mean, I know they make a lot of money, but at the same time, we don't have to take all of their money. Yeah, we want to make American movies great again. And that's the other part. Fucking Trump. Freaking Trump. He wants to rename New Mexico because it's not a very good representation for a state in America. I think he wanted to call it New America because it's the one nation that couldn't figure out a name for itself. So it said, let's just name it after the continent. People are brainwashed by all these movies. Well, for the most part, Jesus, you're right. I mean, a lot of people do get brainwashed by a lot of movies. A lot of people believe these movies. Like I was saying to Marvelous last week, a lot of people take the American Me movie, and the Blood In, Blood Out movie to heart. They really think like those movies are accurate. They really think that some of these gang members, that's how they are. I mean, for the most part, some of the personal stories are probably do happen, probably did happen, or are happening. But for the most part, as cultural wise, as a gang culture, you can hear many stories from real active members or really high or former active members that were high that would say that all of that was BS. But you even have podcasters out here that are like quoting words from that movie and pushing it like it's real, but it's not. It's fake. It's an illusion. It was pumped up so it could sell tickets, so it could be more dramatic. And it was bad because a lot of our people, a lot of our children saw that and fell in love with the romance of it all and said, I want to be part of that because, you know, your heart is fuck if you're with it like that. Let's see, Oni says, yeah, that rock monster from Ninja Scrolls died from the poison. Yeah, that shit was crazy. That monster did die. I didn't realize that girl's coochie juice is fucking poisonous as fuck. I'm not gonna lie though. I mean, never mind. As HCP Chemistry says, Trump is stupid to tax foreign movies because who the hell pays for movies anymore when you can watch movies in theaters for free? Watch movies in theaters for free. Oh, well, I suppose so. I mean, I don't understand. I guess. I mean, I see what he's trying to do. I see what the message is. Buy American, only American, and, you know, make American companies wealthy again, make them better again. I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, I mean, he's just doing it to piss off people. I gotta assume that somewhere in the back of his head he's saying, well, this is the only way we're gonna, you know, make American business great again. I mean, I just saw a report of a local warehouse business in downtown LA where because of the tariffs, their business has been booming, has been doing better than it ever has been because companies are hiring them to do what they would normally do in China. So they're paying these local warehouse, you know, to do it for them. Trump gargles Putin's balls. Ouch. I don't know. Put it. I mean, that guy's wild, man. Have you guys ever seen that video where he makes all these corporate guys sign over not sign over their companies, but like sign a contract, from what I gather, that they gotta pay taxes back to the country. And this one guy tried to make an excuse that he didn't have a pen, so he couldn't sign it. So Vladimir takes out his pen, gives it to him, makes him sign it. Not makes him sign it, but you can feel the tension that he's got to sign it or else. And after he signs it, he tells that guy, "Hey, give my pen back." Like, man, I gotta get to that guy. He's a super agent too. Let's see. Jesus, those made Mexican American hate their kind. For the most part, you know what? That's the one thing I don't like. I don't like when okay, so you're a Trump supporter. That's good. That's fine. That's your right as an American citizen. Just like it's people's right to not like him and not want to vote for him. But when you start, when you start harassing them, when you start talking shit, you stupid Mexicans, yeah, you stupid flag burners, you stupid protesters, you guys don't do shit. If you guys don't like it, go back to Mexico. That rhetoric is poisonous to our race, to our culture, because all you're doing is really creating a divide. Like I said once, like my example, Nino America, big time Trump supporter, huge. And it's not that he's a Trump supporter. In his eyes, he's an American supporter. He supports America. He pushes it. He wants it to succeed. He wants it to be great. And honestly, for me, that's not a bad thing. America should be great. I mean, for all the taxes they fucking collects from everybody, it should be great. But it's not. Why? Because there's corruption. Why? Because there's people skimming off the top, as they say. But in the long run, America is going to be controlled by us. By us, Raza people. By us, south of the border people. By us that were originally from here. And America's a third generation indigenous guy. Native American. He said himself, he's third generation, third, something like that. He knows his tribe is from Texas. But he's that kind of individual where he doesn't care who controls it as long as the country's great. So that being said, when we take over, because we are going to be not only the majority, we're going to be mostly all of it. We have that many kids, we have that many people over them, that it's going to be majority run by us by default. So when that day happens, we're going to need the Nino Americas that are going to say, well, I love those people and God bless America. Because either way, he doesn't care who runs it. He cares how it's run. And when we start running it, and when we start making it a big machine for the world, Nino America is going to be there supporting us, cheering us on, and telling us how much he loves us. Because that's the kind of person he is. He's not there to support white supremacy. He's not there to support the hatred towards the brown folk. I mean, that guy's browner than me. But he is a supporter of making his country, his state, and his home better for him and his family. And that I can't knock out. I can't knock down. Because that's literally what everybody would want. Right now, Americans, college students, former college students, they're in big trouble. Because they owe trillions of dollars in student loans. Trillion. They can't get out of it because they're federal loans. So a lot of people that took out these loans, they're gonna have to pay back that $1 trillion. Now, one could say, well, they shouldn't get bailed out. They went to school, they're making their money, they should pay it. but it's just too goddamn expensive. I mean, at this point, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to go to university, don't want to go to college, because they don't want to end up having to pay interest and penalties because of a student loan that is only that was it. The intent for it was for them to get an education and to give back to society in the form of their careers. Now they're all fucked. Now I do wonder, because I know they push that on Biden a lot, where they ask them to forgive student loan. I'm curious why nobody has pushed that on Trump. Why has nobody said, are you considering wiping out the student debt? Nobody. I haven't heard one journalist ask Trump, would you do that? Would you do what Biden wouldn't and forgive student debt? I think it would be a massive opportunity for him to do that. I think he would look a lot better to the country. He'll make the Democrats look bad. But nobody asking him that. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. Risky says Lada seems pretty white Christian nationalist. Oh my God. Okay. All right, Jay. Trump eres un pendejo, says Captain Spock. Oh, oops, getting out of the lane. Poison One says Fu Lada is a Luciferian. Hey. Risky says Poison, that's why I'm confused. Captain Spock says it's all a lie. He is crazy old man. Lisa, hi. Hi, Lisa. Central Cal says Norby's, you still ride with the do I still ride Marlins? Yes, but I am the producer of his show. We are dedicated to bringing culture, information, and knowledge to the people. Yes, we are. Because that's what we do. That is what we set to do. That situation that happened, unfortunately, how it happened, he took accountability for it. And at this point, I'm pretty sure you guys seen how much hate he's gotten over the last few months. One would say that's not enough, but on the other hand, how much is enough? And who are we to say what's enough? Yoli, hey there. Lisa, much love and respect. Nora, much love and respect to you also. Yoli, double tap that like. Thank you, Yoli. I appreciate that. ACPC Chemistry, much love to the chat. Yes, sir. Only64 says Trump is trying to bring, and I can't read the rest because I'm turned and I don't want to die. Bring all production to the U.S., but the prices will never go down. And that's the part I hate, man. But no, wait. You know what? Let me give this little update, because I was at a Food for Less, and the 12 dozen eggs was $3.89. A dozen eggs, regular eggs, not the free ranging organic eggs, but the regular eggs, the one that all of us grew up with, are $3.89 a dozen. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm not paying $9 for that anymore. So that's good news. From what I hear though, meat is on the rise, and that sucks because I like meat also, but apparently it's on the rise. So look out for that. Although gasoline might be going low, from what I hear, might be going low, hopefully, because that shit's expensive. All right, let's see. Yoli, the land of the free because of the brave. Hey, that's right. That is right. And we have a lot of brave soldiers. We have a lot of brave men and women that serve. So much love to them. Much love. Oh, and I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing about Trump that got on my nerve this week oh, I'm sorry, last week, is that he tried to propose that we get rid of we get rid of the day Veterans Day and call it Victory Day. Now, I don't like that. That's stupid. Like, why would we get rid of the day, the federal day for veterans, where we celebrate our veterans? Why would you just make it into a Victory Day, where you're only thinking about the country and not the soldiers? Which I thought that was pretty fucked up. I thought that was a big L for the Trump administration to propose such a change. Now, somebody, when I put that up, somebody in the comments said, well, they have a month. I'm like, so the gays have a month also. The hell? This is a day specifically for veterans where we honor them, we celebrate them for their sacrifice, and their sacrifice, because that's what they do when they fought these wars for us. They sacrifice their lives. We owe it to them. Not some month that probably most people would. I didn't even know there was a month celebrating them. I had just found out when somebody mentioned that in my comments. I always knew there since I was a kid. I knew there was a Veterans Day. Risky says being American and being U.S. nationalist are two different things. Ah, well, yeah, an American, you're part of the whole continent of America. Which that's why I say it's funny how the U.S. couldn't come up with its own name. It said, you know what, let's just name ourselves after America. I mean, there's Canada, there's Mexico, and then for some reason, all of these bright individuals couldn't say, well, we should probably name the United States of, I don't know, fucking, what would be a name? I mean, Little Rock, or whatever the hell Plymouth Rock, whatever it is that was big back then. You would have think they would have named it after something like that. Or the United States of Pilgrims, maybe. More like United States of genocidal murderers, like from what history shows. Let's see. Jesus Duarte said, well, SCP chemistry. I thought Nino was half black. No, from as far as I know, Nino is that guy's the most Native American. I mean, as far as I can tell, from what he says, he's more Native. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he has some black in him. Hey, no diddy though, Oni64 says Nino looks like he is from Guatemala. Well, I mean, we're all native, so I mean, we're all gonna share features. Only stupid people vote for Trump. If you can't tell that he is a total fraud and a con man, you are a total moron and have no business voting or commenting on politics, says Captain Spock. I mean, he's a salesman. He's a salesman, and he sold himself well. Not only did he sell himself well, he managed to make his competitors look horrible. And then and he just knew exactly what to say. He was a salesman, and he was a good salesman because he won. Sus Duarte says Mexicans are heated by European Americans, African Americans, Chinese, Guatemalans, and South America. That's a lot of hate. Yoli says HCP Cam. HCP Cam says Nino, a good dude. Only 64. What do you mean back to Mexico? This is Mexico. Hey, that's right. All Red Dog Mexicans not gonna run it. Look at Mexico, third world country. All Red Dog, and this is the thing. I even told Nino America, if those places are such a third world country, why are there American corporations in those countries? Because they know something that they don't want us to know, which is that there is an abundance of resources and ability to have your own business, your own lands. Here in the U.S., you can't own anything. If you don't pay your property tax, the U.S. takes your land. And the countries below here, they don't have that rule. You actually own your own shit. Yoli, looks are deceiving. Yes. Yoli, how come I can't see you, Norbs? Because I'm driving, and then it uses a lot more phone data. And then it looks crappy when it gets weak signals. So audio will, at least I know, will always come through, even if it's a weak signal. I don't want to be in debt over college, right? Captain Spock, you need a third glasses. You need third glasses. Okay, Yoli. Hello, Lisa. Yoli. Okay. Lada says most of those students in debt took out crazy loans to earn useless degrees. Ouch. I mean, I would have to see the numbers, but visually, from what we see, it kind of seems that way, Lades. But I would definitely want to see the numbers on that if see if that's really the case. Because if it is, damn, that sucks. Biden tried to put he overstepped Congress illegally to do so. But, okay, Captain Sock. Biden did forgive student debt. The Gap blocked it. The GOP blocked it. So he made an executive order forgiving loans. Trump just undid Biden's executive order, and people now have to pay back their student loans. Yeah, that's gonna. A lot of people are gonna get fucked. And the craziest thing is that, as far as I can tell, you can't do bankruptcy over those loans. You still gotta pay them forever. ACPC Chemistry says science degrees are the only reason we should to get a degree. Yoli says that we the people make this country. You're 100% correct. Captain Spock says, if you have been to college, you shouldn't be making stupid generalizations. Ouch. Jesus says, European Americans are lazy and they want everything handed. Well, yeah, they do. You're right, because they have like 5 generations of wealth and not 6 or 7. Price of eggs have gone down. Yes, they have, Yoli. Captain Spock says they have gone down from the obscene, unthinkable. They are still way too expensive. Lada says Blue Torta loves me too. Ms. Gangsta Piggy says Chump is a fool. Jesus says tell Marvelous to blame it on his European side. Ouch. Captain Chump is a piece of shit. And so are the people support him. Ms. Gangsta Piggy says I love my veterans. Yes. Lada says so it is for veterans. Yeah, I guess. Me, how do you celebrate Veterans Day and Memorial Day? Well, for the most part, most people will go into the cemetery. Shit. I hated that. I just forgot the fucking name for the cemetery. But it is a cemetery where the majority of veterans are buried. If anybody in the chat knows the names of those cemeteries, please put it on there. But yeah, you will go there, celebrate them, drink a beer for them. Some families that have family members in the military, celebrate their family members, their friends. It's a very important day. Oh crap! All right, let's see. That was the idea behind it. Says Lades. Me says, how do you sell? Okay, I already answered it. On the 64399 Vaughn's gas. Ooh, that's good. Type Lover says, can Norby still walk down Chicano Street? Always. I mean, I am in what you would say, the mecca of Chicano Street, right here in East LA, where a lot of wars were fought in the streets, in politics, and it still hasn't stopped. We're still fighting here. I mean, the whole history of Chicanos here in LA it's so massive, and it changed this country when it didn't want to change. But we said, fuck you, you have to change it, otherwise. You see, this is what I love about our people. We figure out their laws. We figure out how they do their laws, so we can change it for our own interests. That's what they thought, that they had it on us, but our people figured out their laws so it can benefit us also. They didn't want to give us proper education, so we forced the courts to give us proper education. They didn't want to give us homes, they didn't want to give us loans, so we started our own credit unions. And we got homes in East LA. Even at Elysian Park, where Dodger Stadium is at, those homes were bought by with loans from Chicano credit unions. The Chicano Express, saludos to you. Estilo Delfino, you really think they sent the others here to America instead of Australia, as history has wrote? Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm thinking. They didn't send us their best. Because I met so many Australian people, and they're really nice people. Have any of you guys ever heard some racist story from Australia? Have you guys ever heard of a KKK in Australia? I've never heard. They've always been very cool, chill people. I think that's why they sent them to Australia, because they were too chill and they needed genocidal murderers. Chicana Press, I'm good, bro. I hope you're doing good also. Este Delfino, that would explain capitalism. Lada says the cheap labor. Me, cheap labor. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. Chicano Express says European Americans smell like stale patas. Lara says, yes, Normie, so many kids went to college and earned degrees like shit, like gender studies. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Or art history. Yeah, that's very useless. Yeah, well, you're not wrong there. Arlington in Virginia. Tyler Lover says, that's right. Nameless, will Mar mind and you get on Jesse Lee's Peterson's podcast? I don't know who that is, so I'm gonna check that out. Lattice says, hey Norbies, a show about Zutsu Rise would be dope. That was very tragic and pivotal time in Chicano in America. Yes, you're right. That was a crazy moment in its history, and I really would like to delve more into it. Estilo Delfino says they sent the Expendables. Nino America, shout out to him. He says, Mega, deport all wets. Ah, easy there, Cesar Chavez. Nino America, are you trying to become the new Cesar Chavez? You know, a fellow podcaster got upset at me because I put Cesar Chavez picture with a MAGA hat on. Because let's be real, people. If Cesar Chavez was still alive, he would definitely be rocking a MAGA hat. And that's no cap. I don't think I'm capping on that. You guys let me know if I'm capping on that one, because I'm pretty sure if Cesar Chavez was alive today during the elections, he would be definitely rocking the MAGA hat. But that aside, all right, guys, I'm here, so I gotta set up for the show. So I hope I could see all you guys on the Marvelous Minds channel, and come check it out, because we're gonna talk about quite a lot of things. It's a good night. It's cool. It's Cinco de Mayo. We're gonna celebrate how indigenous people beat the shit out of French people, and that's always a good conversation in my book. So I will see you guys on Marvelous Minds. Thank you all. Hit the like button. I love all of you, and thank you for joining me today. Bye boy.